Yeah, it's funny. I think of you a lot. We didn't get a chance to spend too much time together in the day, but I've always been a fan, and obviously we did the show together.
Mm.
You, of all of the great characters when you were on SNL, you may have been the author star of my personal deep cut favorite, which of course is Perspectives. It,
I loved performing Perspectives too.
you murdered in that thing. It's just one of the tell for those who may not have experienced the genius
Yeah.
of you in Perspectives.
Yeah.
Relive it for me because I love it so much.
Well, I have to give a shout out to Al Franken and Dave Mandel. They created the Perspectives talk show for me and explained to me how to do it. And Franken told me to listen to Bob and Ray, the comedy team from the 60s, 50s. And I did. And then the thing that I loved about it and I had to get used to was that the laughs was going to build once the audience got the joke. And the scene was about it's a talk show. It comes on at about 4:30 a.m. in the morning. It's a community show because it fills an FCC requirement of having a minority show on broadcast TV. So they put it on at 4 in the morning. And this guy, his name is Lawton Osborne, and welcome to Perspectives. And he talked very slowly and also would just repeat the information that had just been told to him.
That's the most brilliant part.
Yes. And so if the person said that he was, I'm a civil rights attorney and I'm working on, raising money for civil rights cases. Well, that's amazing. It's 4:35 in the a.m. and I'm talking to Cecil Adams and he is a civil rights attorney working to, solve civil rights cases in the city. Now, how long you been doing that? I've been doing it for about 10 years. That's amazing. Well, I'm sitting here. It's 4:35 in the a.m. and I'm sitting here talking to Cecil Adams. He's a civil rights attorney who loves a law. And he's been doing it for about 10 years. Now, where are you located? I'm downtown. That's amazing. It's 4:36 in the a.m. and I'm talking to Cecil Adams. His office is located downtown. He's a civil rights attorney who loves the law. And that was the show. And the hard part for me was that in the beginning, it didn't get laughs because people were just listening to the information. And then once I started repeating the information back, it just became funnier and funnier. And the audience it was the one time I made Chris Rock break during a sketch. We did a Perspectives about the Million Man March. And Rock had been really busy that week. And I don't think he paid much attention to the sketch. Because the other beauty of it is that I knew it was going to be on the last sketch of the show.
Right.
And so Lauren, God bless him, would always give me that 4 to 5 minutes of like, you got that end of the show, it's yours. But he would be on the floor telling me if I had to speed it up. And if he didn't tell me speed it up, I could stretch it as long as I wanted to. And it was the most fun. But I made Chris Rock break because I don't think he really paid attention to it, but it was a sketch about the Million Man March. And he was going down there with his kids to, join in. And then as I kept asking him questions, you realize what a horrible father he was. Like I go, so you're taking your kids on it. That's amazing. And he goes, well, yeah, well, not my kids. I'm taking my wife's son. My kids, I don't really have a relationship with them that much. I haven't spoken to my son in like 10 years. Well, that's amazing. It's 4:35 in the a.m. and you're watching Perspectives. I'm talking with Christopher Little, who hasn't talked to his son in 15 years. He's going to the Million Man March, and
That was always my favorite when they would say something sad or really provocative, and you would go,
yeah,
"That's amazing."
yes, yeah, yeah. And
Ama-
like I said, yeah, those guys told me to like listen to some Bob and Ray, who I knew of. I knew of Bob and Ray, but I didn't. But I get once I listened to their timing and the cadence and they weren't afraid of silences. You know?
Oh, the silence. I mean, that's the first time you did it. You must have thought, well, you just have to commit. You have to go because no one's going to be laughing for the first minute. And the minute is an eternity on live TV.
Yes. Yeah.
And of course, then you probably had that great thing of when you had done enough of them and they'd aired, the audience was ready for it.
Yes.
And the laughs probably came earlier. The minute you said, the first time you said, it's 4:32 in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. And I tell you, one of my favorite laughs, I didn't even get it. It wasn't from me, but it was the introduction, which was, "This is WNBC, and we're signing off for our broadcast day. But before we do that, here's perspectives." And I just love that, like, they had no confidence in this show. It was like,
they don't give a
yeah,
shit about that
we're
show.
actually not stopping broadcasting. We're going to be going on for another 4 minutes with the show we have to put on the air. So, yeah. Thank you, Rob. I mean, that was another sketch where comedy writers love that sketch too. That, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, it's I don't know how you would describe that type of comedy, but comedy nerds love it.
Yeah.
It's just super. I love the sketches that are because the big ones that everybody remembers are great. But like that one was so funny. I think maybe I think you might have done one on the show that I did. I think. Oh, I know what I needed to ask you about. So we were both managed by the great Bernie Brilstein.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, you were at that legendary Royce Hall UCLA tribute.
Yeah.
to Bernie.
Yeah.
And do you remember the Kermit the Frog
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like this came up like one time we were talking, but yeah, man.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. Like, I cried heavy duty at Kermit the Frog.
Yes. Okay. Because I looked over down. So everybody listening, what went on here is Bernie Brilstein represented every great SNL person from the beginning. Belushi, Gilda, Dan,
Lorne.
Lorne.
Yeah.
Lorne, and all the way up to his death. So all of the cast members through all of the years, and of course Tim was one of them. And I had met Bernie by doing Wayne's World.
Mm-hmm.
That's with Mike and everybody, and we became really close. Bernie was like he was like a surrogate father to me. He really, for whatever reason, he and I bonded, and it way transcended manager client.
Yeah.
And so anyway, when he passed away, you can imagine the lineup, the murderer's row of people that wanted to eulogize him, and I think I remember it was like Shandling and Lovitz,
Nealon, Lorne, I think spoke to
Lorne, and a few other, I think maybe Steve Martin, but I remember Lorne produced it. He produced, he's the best producer ever lived. So he produced this. It wasn't public, wasn't filmed,
right?
But Lorne took it as seriously as anything, and Lovitz, as is his wont, was maneuvering to speak at what he thought would be a more prestigious slot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget Lauren going, I don't know the order. I do know that no one follows the frog. Because Kermit the Frog also performed, and Kermit,
Yeah,
I'll never
because
forget,
Bernie represented all of these other.
he's Henson.
Yeah,
Bernie discovered Jim Henson.
yeah, yeah.
So all these people come out and everybody talks and it's funny and it's sad and people cry a little and they laugh. And then all of a sudden they roll out a fucking log.
Yeah.
And you could kind of hear people who knew what might be coming. You hear that, like, it's like we're talking about hearing an audience not laugh or just hearing the energy of an audience. You could just kind of hear like, and then Kermit pops up with those opening chords of Rainbow Connection. And dude, I looked over at you.
Yeah.
You were like 5 seats away from me. And you and I had the same, it eviscerated me.
Yeah. I think our eyes connected. I kind of felt like we looked at each other. I do remember it, yes. I was floored.
We were crying like buffoons. We were ugly crying.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can tell you, man, in the moment, there were so many things that were going through my body. And I can't believe that I'm here in this moment. I'm watching this performer that I watched as a kid. That thing taught me things. It taught me how to read, and you know what I mean?
Yes.
And it was represented by a guy that represented me and got me into the bigger parts of showbiz and like changed my life and like stood up for me when things weren't going for me that great and got me work when things slowed down, and had, Bernie didn't represent me like one-on-one, but when I needed a talking to, Bernie was the guy that gave you the talking to. And then it was like, okay, you go back to the guy that represents you, but like you're going to get some knowledge right now. And I'm going to explain to you how you fucked up. And I'm explaining to you how you're going to fix it. Or, like when I remember having the conversation with him about NBC not wanting me to come back to SNL and Lauren saying, no, I'm going to bring you back. And Bernie was just like, listen, I'm going to give you this is the tough part of the job. You're fired from that show. You may as well consider yourself not working there. But Lauren is fighting to keep you there. So we're going to be patient. We're not going to like run you and try to get you another job somewhere else and take another acting job or another writing job. You're just going to be patient, chill out in Chicago, and we'll see what happens. You might not work again, kid,
Kid, called everybody kid.
Yeah. But if you just be patient, and he was right. Like Lauren got me back and, whatever. But like, yeah, man. And so all those things were sort of going through my head, of like, I can't believe this kid from Detroit is sitting here, and just watching this thing. And then also like saying goodbye to this dude. And like, it was just, it was killer. It was killer.
That song is insane.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
That is, and Bernie was the greatest coach, like cheerleader. And Mike Myers tells a great story about Bernie. Because Bernie also could get distracted.
Yeah.
And Mike's dad had passed away, and it was right, I think, as Wayne's World had opened, and it was really, really big. And Mike was really, really down, really, 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 really down, as you can imagine. And Bernie called him to cheer him up, and Mike was like, "Look, this is my dad's gone. Nothing feels the same. It's like I did this movie and it works, but I don't know if I have another movie in me, and I just feel lost in my, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life." And Bernie goes, "Look, kid, it's all going to be great no matter what. Because at the end of the day, you're Mike Meyer." Bernie, it's Myers. Mike Myers. Yeah, what I say.
Oh man, that's
Oh, it's
so funny.
so somewhere up there, Bernie
Oh,
is
he's so funny.
he
Yeah.
is
He also used to. Me and Sandler used to laugh. It was like became a catchphrase when we were doing Bernie. It was like, "You never know, kids. You never know. You're up there one day. Next thing you know, you're down. You just never know. You
you
never
never
know."
know. I always like the way he would be. If you go back and look at all the old SNLs, you can hear Bernie laughing.
Yeah, yeah,
Ah, 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 ah.
yeah. Man.
And then he became such a pro, and again could be distracted, that he got to the point where there was his real laugh, there was the performative laugh, which is I'm laughing, everybody should laugh, and then there was the one where he was so over it, but he knew he had to laugh, but just really didn't have it in him, and he would just open his mouth and show his teeth.
That's
So
funny.
so
Well, you think
such
he represented so many funny, talented people after a while? You know, it's got to be. You got to like sort of save it, I guess. You know what I mean?
Who's your Hall of Fame? Okay, two things. Who's the funniest person you know in your personal life? It could be pro, civilian, doesn't matter. And then who's your favorite Mount Rushmore that you don't know, that you never met?
Oh, funniest person in my life in showbiz or not in showbiz? Does it matter?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But we're not above a name drop on this show.
Okay, man. One of my friends that I laugh a lot, like when we just talk on the phone or just are laughing, is Robert Carlock. He's a
Oh yeah, the
writer.
writer. Yeah, great
Yeah,
writer. Great
yeah.
writer.
He's one of my good buddies. We have a lot of laughs when we just are having lunch or just talking or texting. Like it's always something is an insult, and then or something funny, but it's mainly insults. Uh, but and my friend Matt Besser is another. He's with UCB. He was one of the founders of
Oh
UCB.
wow.
And he's he and I have a great fun relationship with each other where we have running jokes with each other and we insult each other. And we also have very deep conversations and we share things with each other. So we have the whole thing. And professionally, Sandler, I got to say, and I know a lot of very funny people, but Sandler, I think for me, because I've known him so long and we have a really good friendship, we have bits that we do with each other from 30 years ago. Like, and he'll remember things. Like you go, and then you create new bits whenever you hang out with him. He loves to laugh and he loves to like do bits. And I think he's one of the funniest people I know of just like talking and hanging out. Like we can be ourselves with each other and we can also, the dynamics of like who you are and who I am never really play into it. You know what I'm saying? Like one time we did this bit for like 3 months. We were at the Knicks game and what's his name? He was 7'5" African basketball player. He was like
Not Manute Bol.
Manute Bol
How
was
did I
at the
know it was a Manute Bol? That's amazing.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Manute Bol was playing in the game, and me and Sandler were like just watching him, like because he never got into the game, and then we saw him whisper to one of the other teammates, and then I said to Sandler, I go, "What do you think he's saying?" And then Sandler goes, "Oh no, what happened was we saw him whisper to a teammate, and then the coach called him into the game." And he was like surprised and got up. And that became a bit with me and Sandler for like 6 months where we would go, what was Manute talking about before he got into the basketball game? And we just do things, make it. He was going like, listen, my friend, there's a great soup recipe. You got to try this. This is amazing. Hey, Manu, the coach is trying to get your attention. Yeah, man, that's cool. Listen, now, let me just tell you, you got to have some beans. You got to have onions and carrots. Oh, shit, man, this guy wants me to the game. And so we did that as a bit. Like, what do you think? And we did it for like, it would be just like sitting around. Hey, what was Manu talking about in the game? And one of us would do the bit of what Manu was talking about to the other player. But
It's the
yeah,
best.
he's the funniest, man. And yeah, I love hanging out with him when we can do stuff. It's always good.
I love that he has his Mercury players of people he loves and continually puts in movies. And I love Adam. I don't know him well, but he's just always such a decent dude. And
yeah.
And but you know, my phone has never rung. I'm just saying. And you can help me with this. You're an insider. Let's unwrap this here.
Yeah.
Can we do it? Can we do a psychiatry moment here?
Well, let me just tell you, he has never said a negative thing about you to me. So let's go from there.
Okay, let's start there. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. But like, you know, I feel like there could have been a Rob Lowe-esque character somewhere in the Adam Sandler universe. Is it that he thinks I'm Mike's guy? Is that it?
I don't know. I don't think that matters anymore.
No.
But no, I don't know why. I think one thing those guys, this is just my opinion. This is based on nothing. But I think those guys, our more successful friends, sometimes look to see who's working and who's not working. And I think sometimes that is the deciding thing of let's give
throw
that
fucking
person a
Spade
call.
a bone. Fucking Spade. Throw him that motherfucker a bone.
Spade needs the money, man.
Spade, we all know.
Every time I listen to a podcast, it's a Spade commercial right before the podcast. I'm like, what the fuck? This dude, he's amazing.
He might be. He might be the funniest person I know. He might be.
Yeah, he is very funny. I always say if there's very few people from SNL that I would drive across the country with, Spade is probably in my top 3 or 4 people that I could do that with.
Oh, that's a really good litmus test.
Yeah.
That's a super good litmus test. Maybe that's what Manute Bol was doing. You know, there are not so many people, but I will say that I have 2 or 3 that I would go across, but some only to St. Louis, and then I would put them on a plane.
This is who I would go across the country. William Shakespeare. I would love to drive across the country with him. Also, the guy who draws the Simpsons cartoon. I think he would be lovely. And there's someone to cook. Someone like
someone that knows their way around a falafel. Too good. What? Tell me about doing Walk Hard. I love that movie so much.
Walk Hard. That's where me and Matt Besser actually became better friends. Was doing Walk Hard. He played in the band in that movie.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, I got to say, Walk Hard is actually on. I'm plugging Samsung, but it's on the Samsung TV channels or whatever they got. You know those channels when you have a Samsung TV?
Yeah, totally.
But Walk Hard was on one of the movie channels, and I was like, my wife was like, never seen it before. And I was like, we got to watch it just a little bit,
Yeah.
And so, and the thing that I was most proud of Walk Hard is how good I look at playing the drums. I worked really fucking hard on looking like a great drummer.
How did you? What was your regimen? How did you do it? How many hours you have a coach?
I broke it down into this. there's only a certain number of songs I got to learn. So I don't have to learn how to play a bunch of songs, just these 12. I only have to learn how to play from the waist up because they're not shooting my feet. And so that's half the job right there. And then I just, realized like a drummer is like a 17-year-old teenage boy at the lunch table, like just, you with your two fingers,
Yeah, yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well, that's what it is. It's just you. And so, yeah, I broke it down, learned the songs. We had some coaches that sort of taught us the instrument a little bit. And then I just focused, man. And there's this one shot I was so proud of. I made my wife watch it over and over. Was me. It was like this one section where we're playing a punk version of Walk Hard. And the camera is coming around me while I'm drumming really hard. And I had the beat fucking down. I had it down, man. And it looked like I was playing a punk rock song on the drums. But of all the comedy stuff in that movie, it's fine. I love it. People stop me all the time and go, I don't want no part of this, or you don't want no part of these drugs or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so
But the
funny.
thing I'm most proud of is my drumming.
I get that. I there's, I mean, there's something about that. Like, people still ask me about my fake saxophone playing in St. Elmo's Fire years ago. But you actually, it sounds like you were actually playing. I was just blowing fucking air.
Did you even have a reed in the saxophone?
No, of course not. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, no, that reed comes out.
I play sax, that's why.
No, that reed was out.
It's just your tongue going into this little black, like,
yeah,
plastic
yeah, exactly. But I've got a good aperture though. That's what sells it.
Well, that's good. You look like you should have a saxophone in your mouth, which is yeah. That's all that matters.
And you fake the neck vein coming out.
Yeah,
and you're totally good to go. Have you seen?
Did you listen to any saxophonists like in your research?
Yeah. Oh, I followed around Clarence Clemens, the big man from Bruce Springsteen, and the only takeaway I got, and he was the best. What a great man he was.
Yeah.
But the only thing I ripped off from him was most saxophone players. They have a strap where it's right in front of them.
Yeah.
It kind of creates a triangle on their chest.
Right.
Clarence had his rigged up like a guitar strap. So he had it clicked in up at the top and then way down around the bottom. So it was over his shoulder.
Right.
Which also enabled me to wear my saxophone thrown over my back like he does on the cover of Born to Run.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is the most inefficient way to carry a saxophone.
Yeah.
And you'll break it.
Yes. Yeah. Any saxophone player will tell you they have never held their saxophone over their back.
Well,
like a rifle.
Over your back like a rifle. I mean, Clarence did it on the cover of Born to Run, and I'm like that. By the way, one of the great truisms is it's all about like how you look playing an instrument. Like you said, I learned how to play it, but that's not really what you just drilled down on. You drilled on it. I looked.
Yes. Yes.
Do you know? Like you see some of the prodigies on the piano, like gnarly prodigies, and they're not moving around at all.
Yeah.
You got a little theatricality, showmanship.
Yeah. Well, I wanted this guy, even though it was a stupid comedy, but I wanted it to make sense that this guy was with Dewey Cox for his whole career. And so I thought to myself, this guy must be an amazing drummer if he stayed with them all of this time.
Right.
And so I just took in my mind that I'm going to make this guy as good as I can. I'm really going to focus on it. And then once we started shooting, and it was more about improvising the line. So it wasn't like, oh, I got to go home and learn the scene for tomorrow. It was like, oh no, the scene tomorrow is just us sitting around with the Beatles talking about getting high. Okay, then I'm going to practice my drumming,
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Yeah. And so yeah, that's what I would do. And I took a few songs like a White Stripe song to sort of practice with and stuff. Um, but yeah, it was really fun. I did Conan show a long time ago when I was doing that movie. And Max, I told him I could play drums from the waist up. And Weinberger,
Max Weinberg, yes,
Max Weinberg,
from
he
East Street Band, yeah.
he said, yeah, that's right. He said, I said, can we do a bit where I sit on your lap and you do the bass drum and I do the thing? And he goes, yeah, let's do it. And so on Conan's show, I went over and I played out a commercial, you know, sitting on his lap playing the drums. He did the bass and I did the cymbals, and it was really fun. It was really fun.
Have you ever seen Armisen's whole drum bits that he does, Fred Armisen's?
I saw like a small thing of like the Latin character that beats and goes, ay, 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 ay. Like he leans on the top hat when he says a joke. I've seen that.
He does an entire set, an entire comedy set.
Yeah.
On his drums. And my favorite bit he does, it's so stupid, is all of a sudden the famous intro to the Phil Collins song "In the Air Tonight."
Oh, okay, yeah,
begins,
yeah.
And it's that incredibly slow.
Yeah.
Incredible. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. And it goes on forever. And he's been playing the drums now in the set, like for 20 minutes. And so people are like, the anticipation, and he's walking around, and he's preparing the drumsticks, and he's sort of stretching his arms out, and everybody's waiting for that amazing drum fill.
Yeah.
And he walks down, and just at the right time, he sits down, and then he plays a fill that has nothing to do with that song at all.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That's funny.
It's so dumb. But
I saw him do this one bit where he does the drummer from doing the Diana Ross song, "I'm Coming Out."
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah. Where the drummer's like, "What, do you want me to do something here? I can do something. How about a little, oh, that's not good." But and he adds it all in. It's very funny. And those ideas, the thing that I like about those ideas, there's no jokes. It's no jokes in like, hey, my wife hates me and kicked me out of the house. It's all conceptual. It's all just a bit to, you know what I mean? It's like, it's nothing that you would go, oh, that was the setup and this is the punchline. And it's just, I love those kind of bits,
That, first of all, that drum fill is so sick, that opening. And so guys, listen, if you haven't heard Diana Ross's classic, "I'm Coming Out," do it immediately, and then Google Fred Armisen, "I'm Coming Out." I would feel like that'd be really hard to learn, because it's that whole point of it is that I wouldn't want to have to learn.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like all over the place in the beginning, and then it gets into the song. You know what I mean?
It's so good.
Yeah.
I do this thing where, because I'm a big baseball fan, I do this thing of like, if I'd have a walk-up song.
Yeah.
Like, what would this a bit I do with my sons? And at one point, I thought it would be the opening drum solo to "I'm Coming Out."
Yeah.
Now batting the second baseman, Rob Lowe. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That nothing says badass. More than that. Tell me about the DMV. Your new show's coming out on the 23rd on CBS.
Yeah. Well,
by the way, there's nothing funnier than just, you had me at DMV, by the way. Like,
yes.
Well, I go, you know what I love about that? I go, I know exactly what that is, and I am there.
Yeah.
I hear you.
As long as it's smart and not like talking down to me, I can figure it out. Like any episode that you tune in for, it's not much to like, you don't have to watch the pilot. You'll get it from the, but yeah, it's really fun. Takes place in the West Hollywood DMV, present day. I play Greg, a sort of burnt out former teacher who now works at the DMV, sort of winding down his days in life, basically. He's very unhappily married, but in a stable, unhappy marriage. But the show is about this like ensemble of friends that work at this DMV together. So yeah, it's like Harriet Dyer, Tony Cavallero, Molly Kearney, Alex Tarrant, Gigi Zimbato are the other people in the cast. And you've done these kind of shows before. It was like an ensemble, and you find out one thing I really loved was that the writers, they were writing the characters in the beginning, like the first few episodes, and then they got to know us as actors and people and saw our dynamics with each other. And then they started adding that within the show. And so like the second half of this season, I'm really excited for people to see it because they really do capture like the comedic vibe that we have with each other, like off camera. And I don't know if you had that experience, like like on Parks and Rec and stuff, but like at a certain point, like sometimes I'd go, "Oh, did you guys hear me talking?"
Right.
Or
right.
yeah, because this is something that I would say or an attitude that I would have,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot better, and it got a lot better. Not even to say that it wasn't better before, but I think we just found what we were doing, and we, as actors and as writers and directors on the show, we could just get to it quicker because we all knew, oh, we know what we're doing now,
Yeah.
So yeah,
I always feel like all of the really, it's so rare that anything, particularly a comedy, arrives fully baked,
yeah,
fully formed, and it takes, I mean, on Parks and Rec, it famously took 2 seasons
yeah,
before they figured out the secret sauce. And,
yeah,
you know, and a lot of shows don't get that opportunity. So I'm glad that that you guys are back and that you have that thing, because that is the thing about ensembles. They're all about chemistry, and they're about
yeah,
you finding out where your sweet spot is.
yeah. And like you really don't get the opportunity to do that. And this is just one of the this is my thought about having to work in Montreal. Like we would all love to be in LA and be shooting it in LA, but we shoot it in Montreal. But the thing that's been really good for this show is that all we have to focus on is the show. So we socialize with each other, we hang out with each other, go see movies and football games and hockey games. We have dinner together, kids play together. And we don't have, oh, I got to go to a premiere or I got a meeting with somebody. It's like you're up there and you're like just focused on the show. And it really made our cast tight and like made we're going to work fun. It was really a blast.
Also a great city.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
God.
particularly if you're there in the springtime.
Yes.
Holy moly!
Yeah, I loved it. And we like rented a like pre-war like condo, and it was just a blast. I love old homes.
Yeah,
I do. I love old architecture and stuff. But and just getting around the city, it was just beautiful and like started picking up little French here and there, but you know, you get so used to saying bonjour and au revoir and merci for 7 months. When we came back to the States, we were saying bonjour to people just
yeah.
naturally.
They're like, that Tim Meadows. He's so pretentious. I gave him his Starbucks, and he was like, merci. I'm like, whatever.
Merci beaucoup.
But you know what's funny? People say ciao all the time, or like as if it's nothing.
Jagoffs.
Yeah, right. Oh, I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it. I'm glad you said it. And what's the other thing they say? What's the thing, the Italian phrase before you're supposed to start eating that everybody always says? It drives me insane.
Abbondanza?
Isn't that from a commercial? Abbondanza. um, what is it? Thank you.
Is Bon Appetit Italian?
Bone, or maybe it's French. Bone is.
Yeah.
That's
That's
what
why
I
you
know.
threw me.
Well, you know what it is? Well, people are doing an even worse version then.
Yeah.
Because they're taking bon appetit, which is French. Bon is good, appetite, good eating. And they're putting an Italian thing on it. Buono appetite. or whatever the fuck. And I just like, let's just eat. Can we just eat?
You want a good old American phrase to say.
Well, and the other thing, I always feel like it's a little bit of somebody, what's it, when you steal someone's glory? It's a little bit of
appropriation.
Yes, it for sure feels like somebody's appropriating the meal. I'm like, unless they made it.
Listen, I think you should only say the language of the food you're eating before you start eating it.
Oh, I like that.
So if it's Chinese food, you have to say whatever the Chinese phrase for Happy Meal or whatever. If it's French, you got to say Bon Appetit. If it's
this is another thing that Manute Bol was imparting. I'm thinking later of going to eat Chinese food, but I do not know.
How do you wish Happy Meal in Chinese?
What is Bon Appetit?
Don't say it. It's not Bon Appetit, is it? No, Manute, I don't think. I think the coach is calling you to the game.
But I do. Is there a dictionary perhaps that you could help me with? So stupid.
Can you imagine that being a riff for like 3 months? That was a riff for 3 months.
But that's also like a writer thing too. It's like you guys are the drudgery of staring at the blank screen or the page, and you just end up riffing and hoping that funny vibe will find its way into what you're supposed to be writing, right?
And I think also like having something just to play that there's no like weight on it. Like this is, this will never be on TV. This will never be something that this is just something that only you and I think is funny because we were there in the moment, But yeah, Sandman is funny. He's a funny dude.
I'm about to go do a movie up in Vancouver, and his wonderful wife is starring in it as well. And that
great.
He's threatening to come up. I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen a Sandler sighting in the snow. I don't think when you now think about that.
Yeah.
It's like, have you ever seen Bigfoot cross a freeway? Or like, I've never seen it. Like, there's certain things you don't see together. And I don't think I've seen Sandler. Maybe it's Sundance.
I think maybe back in when we were in New York. I'm not sure.
That's an urban. That's too urban. That disqualifies.
You're talking about like Revenant type deal.
Yes. Yeah. Cabin in the woods.
Yeah. No, I've never seen that side of him. You can't. I don't know if you can wear basketball shorts when it gets below zero. So
I know my character wears basketball.
He's like
shorts.
Hawaii. He's like a Hawaii dude.
Yeah. It's too funny. Well, I'll tell him you said I'm going to hit him with Manute Bol. Dude, I'm going to hit him with Manute Bol.
Yes. Tell him the Manute. You got to. I don't know how to. You got to line it up. I got to
line it up. We got to figure out how to line it up.
Yeah. Say. Yeah. I don't know if you say.
I love 80s basketball. You know who I loved in 80s basketball? Because I had season seats to the Lakers. All true. Yeah. And I used to watch Manute Bol, but he would never get into the game. But he'd always be fucking talking to somebody.
Yes.
And just see if his eyes get big. Right? I think that's a good way in, don't you think?
That is so good. And then like, I wonder what he would be saying to like the guy sitting next to him. Like, and then what if the coach called him in, like while he was talking?
Dude, he'll just be like, what he'll think he's having like a deja vu out of body experience.
Yeah. That is so funny, Rob. That is so funny.
Well, it is 11:15 a.m.
Yeah.
And it is Tim Meadows, and he says, Manute Bol, fantastic.
Fantastic. Do you know that they said Manute Bol is the inventor of the phrase "my bad"?
No.
Yeah, that's like an urban mess.
Wait, this is great. Is this true?
I believe that I've heard this before, and not just from me, but I've heard it. I've heard this that he said it in the game or in practice. My bad. He like made a mistake. And then the other players started like mimicking it, and then it became a thing.
Well, I will tell you that makes sense because the first person I ever heard use it was Shaq early in his career, which did overlap with Manute, and they were obviously both big men. So
Yeah.
I like this. Ooh, we've learned something today.
Yeah. I hope I'm right, but I know I have heard that before.
I'm going to attribute it to him.
Say
I love that
I
kind of
did
thing.
it. Say I created. You know, Tim Meadows created my bad.
Well, that's what Manute was actually saying. He was leaning over to the guy going, what if I said my bad a lot? Would people remember it long past my playing career time? Yes, they would.
Yes, they will. You know, I think the coach is trying to get your attention.
Well, my bad.
Oh, there you go.
That's right.
There you go.
It works. Tim Meadows, ladies and gentlemen, DMV, CBS.
That's right.
Coming up.
February 23rd.